So Nokia has been very busy since its brand relaunch by HMD Global, and for the most part it seems like they have a pretty solid plan of taking back the market. My name is Norbert Lukwai and welcome to the channel. So while I don't think they will be able to, get back to the absolute top that they were before the smartphone era came, I do think they are gaining some pretty significant ground when it comes to the budget and mid-range category and everything in between. With me today, I've got the Nokia 5, not to be confused with the 5.1 that came out this year. This is 2017's Nokia 5. So the 5 sits smack in between the budget category and the mid-range category of smartphones. But don't let that fool you, you're getting a lot more phone for the price. So the phone has a 5.2-inch 720p LCD display, a front-mounted fingerprint reader, an 8-megapixel selfie camera, as well as a 13-megapixel main camera on the back. Inside, you get a 3000 mAh battery, a Snapdragon 430 CPU, an Adreno 505 GPU, and either 2 or 3 gigs of RAM, paired with either 16 or 32 GB of storage, respectively. So while the specs are nothing to go crazy over, Nokia have decided to go for a near stock Android UI, and this changes everything in terms of experience and performance. So the whole UI feels light and not in your face as is the case with many budget phones. And not only does this mean you get a better experience, it means faster updates. In fact, Nokia committed to update every single phone in their line for at least 2 years. This particular phone launched with Android 7.1 and since then has gotten a couple of Android updates, major updates, along with security patches every now and then. In fact, it got Android 8 faster than a lot of expensive phones, much more expensive phones from much more established smartphone manufacturers like Samsung and the rest. So the display, while it's not a 1080p panel, honestly you don't need anything more than that in a smartphone. I mean, just look at the iPhone XR. It does do everything you want a display to do. It's bright enough when it needs to be, dim enough when it needs to be, it's sharp enough such that you don't notice the pixels, and the colors are accurate. It's just a good panel for the price. But the same can't be said about the battery. While 3000 mAh is the decent size, it does struggle to get through an entire day's usage. I do watch a lot of videos, play games, and do a lot of reading. It does struggle to finish the entire day for me. Luckily though, this phone does support fast charging, even though unofficially, so I can just put it on a fast charger and get enough charge to get me through the rest of the day. Not a big problem, simple workaround. The biggest downside by far of this phone has to be the cameras. There's just no working your way around that. The more expensive phones will get the better cameras, while the budget phones will generally not. So the same is for these cameras. While using it in bright daylight, it does perform very well. The pictures are respectable, good enough for your Instagram posts. But you can't really use them in less than ideal conditions because they just fall apart. So if you're a person who takes a lot of photos, this phone might not be for you. Me personally, I just don't use them all that much. Except for this one time, I am recording this video using the front-facing camera of the very phone I'm reviewing. So you can judge the quality from there. As you can probably tell, it's struggling to find focus. It can't make up its mind on what to focus on exactly. So I tend to avoid it in general. I don't take a lot of pictures, so this really isn't an issue for me. The other downsides the phone has is the fingerprint reader is a bit slow, but you do get used to that after a while of using. It's no longer an issue. It's kind of like Face ID. People complain Face ID is a bit slower than Touch ID, but in general you just get used to it after a while. The phone does tend to get hot when using heavy apps such as games and such. So when buying, you might want to get 3 GB RAM paired with 32 GB of internal storage version. Overall, I really like this phone. I like the build quality, it feels solid for the price, except for maybe the lettering on the back falling. Personally, I would have had the emblem on the back embossed, but that's a minor issue. You could look past that. Overall, I do think Nokia is on the right track. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.